Good morning, son.
Good morning.
This is the clip number 3. I know you want to get out doing something. What is it that you're getting ready to do today? You're going to work on a wire under the house.
I'm going to be drilling a hole in the floor and running a cable wire under the house from the cable box into our room.
Okay. So, I wanted to share something with you. A lot of people are out there and their voices are not being heard. You know about the young kids in the Philippines that basically are being abused emotionally, physically, worked slave labor, child camps, and those things that we've seen and witnessed. And you know how bad we felt to see that happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a voice that people will hear, especially if it's a younger girl in some of these countries. And you know what happened with the Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
and you understand the video that we have been given. That is the saddest video we have, with the Muslim girl being killed, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And in my bottom drawer down here, you remember why this t-shirt is stained with blood and significant?
Yeah, there's a...
Can you kind of tell, just in a few seconds, why this shirt has a lot of blood, and whose blood is it?
Basically, I believe 18 or 19-year-old boy was given alcohol, and he drove home, and he crashed, and we were within 45 seconds behind him. You know, we didn't know him, but he crashed, and Dad stopped. We stopped, and Dad went in to help him. There was about 100 Filipinos around, and no one was doing anything.
Just the short version of it. There was just a young boy who
But
died.
it was a young boy who
died in my arms.
He died in Dad's arms.
So have you seen, and he didn't want to die?
No,
he did.
He didn't.
But there are other people that want to die, other young people.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Uncle Frank's daughter?
Uncle Frank's daughter.
How old was she?
I believe she was 17.
16 or 17.
16 or 17.
What did she do?
She hung herself when her boyfriend broke up with her for some reason.
So,
and she was so depressed.
What about Brian Phillips' son, our Adventist friend up there out of Platina?
I believe, didn't it? He shot himself in the head.
Mm-hmm. That was an accusation made against him by someone that he thought highly of. I just want to say something, son. The Paradise Seventh-day Adventist Church down here, we are not to have any hard feelings towards specific churches.
Paradise or Magalia?
The Paradise. Paradise. When I was 13 years old, 14, I used to go in there with Grandma, with other people, in the lobby. And every time I go in there, I have memories of this, because there was a lady there. She was in her 50s. She was heavy set. She had numerous wrinkles, and was, you know, at 13, 14 years old, a person in their 50s is very old, right?
Mm-hmm.
To you, would you think of a 50-year-old woman as being old?
Not necessarily, comparing with my grandpa.
Yeah, okay. 100. Anyway, she used to come up and visit us. She would pass out bulletins in the front of the church and be very friendly to me and smile at me, and I was shy. It was hard for me, because that is the same lady that used to come to visit us, play the piano a little bit and have worship with us and lead out. But what she would do, you know how you like to sleep outside? I used to like to sleep outside too. And I did it also because I just wanted to feel safe and be with the animals and the deer and stuff. I have a lot of stories. But more than once, she would come into my sleeping area or outside on the grass. One particular time, I'll just mention it. I was almost asleep, or maybe I was asleep, and I sensed someone was there. Well, I kind of rolled over and opened my eyes and I could see her there hovering over me. She unzipped my sleeping bag very, very slowly so that I wouldn't hear it. And then she slid her hand in under my sleeping bag and slid her hand down my pants. Did you know about this?
From now?
Have I ever told you this, or do you know?
I think once, a long time ago.
Okay, I don't remember, so that's why I'm asking. But I didn't go into detail, and I won't go into detail now. But she forced me to do things that I never wanted to do, and took advantage of me and hurt me, and then threatened to tell my parents, and me, of course, knowing that she's not going to tell my parents the truth. So basically, I would be punished. Now, I want to tell you another story. Besides two other Seventh-day Adventist women taking advantage of me like this, down at Pacific Union College, something else happened. We were coming out of the church. I was your age, 16, almost 17. And potluck. We agreed to have potluck in the fireside room, it's called. Well, there was so much of a crowd of people, I got separated from Grandma and from the group, and suddenly I found myself, I don't know if I was looking at someone or, not paying attention, they were talking, but I was standing there, and you know me, not being a social person, not able to socialize, not talking with anyone or anything like that. At that age, I was very shy and reclusive, so I found myself suddenly alone without my parents. I mean, not alone in a crowd, but without my mom. Well, the very next day, actually, we were to fly to Hawaii. We were actually down in that area because we were headed to Hawaii and stopping by there to spend the Sabbath. And I was born at the St. Helena Hospital. I went to the cafeterias. I looked all over for the potluck room, and I finally found it. And I came in, and everyone was eating. Well, I was super happy and excited to see everyone, but I noticed that people were not very friendly to me. I mean, my mother wasn't super happy to see me. Other people there that we were with in the group. These are people that were giving Bible studies. There was a Bible worker and her husband, and they were not very nice to me. Well, I got some food and ate, but then afterwards, when we got to talking, they said, we need to go and talk. So they took me into a room and surrounded me, and my mother was there, and they basically said that I had run off, eloped, that I ran off purposely because I was getting into mischief with other students, with other people, doing something very bad. I don't even know exactly what they didn't say what it was, but that I was doing something bad. I was shocked that they were saying that and accusing me of that, and I said no, I was lost. I couldn't find where the meal was. I finally found it, and I got there, but then they accused me of lying. Well, my mom came to my defense, but then they got angry at her, and they had her in tears. So what the group decided to do was take a cord from a tape player, unplug it, double it up, have me bend over, and they whipped me and beat me with that cord. Did you know about that?
No.
Till I had red marks and welts. My mother was a witness, other people were witnesses there. Now, I remember my emotions knowing that I was innocent, but knowing that I was being beaten. I did not hold it against my mother. She allowed it. I didn't hold it against the other Adventist Bible preaching people there, because I knew they were wrong. They were sincere, but sincerely wrong. And I just prayed for them. I felt in my heart the sadness because I realized, I'm just saying honestly what I was feeling back then, and it hurt. I mean, it was quite a hard beating. Some of the things they said were, for instance, one man said when I said, no, that's not happened, he's lying. You will not be permitted to lie to us. You are not, I will not accept it. You will not lie. That's how they were talking to me. And I'll tell you what, it caused deep wounds in me. These things have created deep wounds in me. Sometimes we throw blows at people and we don't know the tacks that are in their shoes that are causing them to stumble, maybe. So there's a saying that maybe if those tacks were in the person accusing shoes, they might actually stumble the same way. Now, I'm not saying that I'm stumbling, that we're stumbling. We're all struggling to become like Christ. And you see that in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that I am being real with you. I want you to know that I'm not, a perfect father, but I want to be. I want to be the best dad I could possibly be. And I want you to forgive me. I want to say I'm sorry for the things that I've done that have not been the best. And I'd like to improve in my fatherhood, being a father to you and to Brianna and to Francis and all of the children around the world that call me Daddy Steve. Anyway, I'm not. Basically, I'm saying all this because I have been injured by leaders in the Seventh-day Adventist Church that have affected me in a huge way. Now, I haven't left the faith. I haven't stopped believing in God, but it's hurt me and damaged me. And I never did have anyone there that protected me, my parents were there, but I was afraid to tell them. And I'm sure that if they knew certain things, they would have done something. But I don't want you to be hurt and affected in this same way. Okay?
Okay.
So you cannot always believe in and have faith in someone just because they say they're a pastor, just because they preach the Bible, pray with you, and all of that. You have to be wise and know that there are people out there that are not always going to be have the best motives,
Mm-hmm.
So you have to accept that. But there are a lot of wonderful people in the world, in the church, especially in our church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, that are true God-fearing people. Okay, now do you think I've insinuated anybody in this that they're not a God-fearing Christian person? Any pastor, any person?
No.
Okay, I just want to make that clear because I don't want to insinuate, but we do realize that there are some issues with several pastors, and I believe with all my heart that they will be able to figure this out for the sake of you, for the sake of other children, and that it'll be worked out in a way that will bring glory to God, honor to God, and vindicate the truth, and that people will be on their knees, they will ask God to forgive them, and this will be a growing experience for all of us. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So thank you for talking.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.